What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Sin City Crypto Trading Stream. I know usually I do it after the morning show, but I have some doctor's appointments today, and well, I didn't want to miss a trading show, so I'm doing it before the live. So hopefully you're here. If it's your first time checking us out, welcome. We're going to take a look at some charts. We're going to see if we can throw some trades in. You know, I crushed yesterday. I was... And I told our Discord members, we were just scalping Chain Opera AI within a pretty tight range, but that thing is so volatile yesterday. We're entering in right around, so $7.74 here. I'll kind of zoom this in so you can see. $7.74. It filled, we were up, we closed. I'll kind of show you guys the trades. Running it back at $7.88. And then we had, literally trading the range between $7.88 to $8.42. No shorts, only scalping longs. And this is what that looked like yesterday. So this one was, we got in at around 853. So I'll tell you kind of my thought behind this one. But we got in 17x, made like $600. So that was the last CO. Actually, I tried. I felt like we're getting a reversal, but I was wrong. I had a stop loss set in, so we did take an L on a short. And so this thing is continuing to run. This was another one, COAI. This one we made $87. Got in at $8.08. $7.91 out at $8.08. The next one, 46%, $68, got in at $7.88, cashed out at $8.10. See if we can scalp another long, maybe. Or maybe there's going to be a reversal in the chart. Here's another one, up 125%, $250. Again, entry $7.88. Got out at $8.58. And there was a few more. We made money on a chain link trade. Exited this one a little earlier. It was a 50x short. Got in at around $18.27. This was a market cipher play. It was a anchor wave, trigger wave short. That was a 70% profit. That was a link trade, and then, man, I was on a streak yesterday. Now, it doesn't always happen this way. I just want to let everyone know this isn't like, you know, every single day, but I saw an opportunity. Here's another Chain Opera AI. This one, again, $7.88. Cashed out at $8.43 for 96% profit, $190. I think my net total yesterday was, and then here was another one, and I'll stop after this one, I promise. Another one, 18x. $7.66, cash at $8.16 for 117% gain, $230. Now, I was looking at this yesterday, so I was taking a peek at the 4-hour time frame, and what we were seeing on the 4-hour before this expansion of the momentum wave, we were sitting here, not there. And we're sitting like right here. And let me change this to red. We're sitting right here. And I was waiting for a potential red dot for a anchor trigger wave short. Okay, because we had this expanded oversold momentum wave, or overbought momentum wave with a red dot, right? That was our anchor wave. And we're waiting to see if this was going to print a red dot, right? Because the trigger was small, or the momentum wave was small, so it kind of fit the bill for a trigger wave. All we needed, again, was that red dot. We never got the red dot. The other thing I was looking at, I believe this one I was looking at on the 1 hour. It kept ping-ponging and bouncing off of this large volume node level here. Let me remove market cipher. Right here. It was consolidating. We were kind of making money from here to here. It started to chop sideways. I kind of stayed on the sidelines for a little bit. Then I started to see this thing run up to like $8.56. And that was the last trade I had put in, this one, the biggest one. You see, we got in at $8.53. And once this thing started running, the 10, the 15, and the 30-minute time frames, they were just going off the charts. And so, I was like, you know what? I'm going to enter. I got in. Look back, could have let it run a little bit longer, but you know what? I've said this cycle. It feels like whatever targets you have, whatever TP targets you have, reduce those by like 25, 30%. So yeah. Yeah, man. Fucking Cadena, bro. Fucking shit. Mr. K, 5 years of my life and 56K down the drain. Fuck, bro. I'm sorry, dude. That shit blows, bro. Mr. K, let me ask you a question, dude. Are you on Buy DeFi? Let me know. If you're on Buy DeFi, let me know. See if I can do something for you, brother. I'm gonna reach out to the Buy DeFi guys, see if we can get you a little trading bonus, okay? See if you can use that, start trading, maybe make some of your money back. Let me know if you have one, if you don't, if you want to get one. This is not a stipulation, but unfortunately for me to reach out to the team and have them give you a trading bonus, you would have to obviously have an account. But just let me know, man. We'd love to help you out. I've taken some big L's, brother, and that shit sucks. It stings. But you're still here, which is dope, right? You're still here. That's awesome, bro. I love it. I think you're kind of 50% won the fight, right? The climb back. You just gotta be vigilant. Stay on your research. You can make that money back. There's still so much, in my opinion, for certain altcoins. There's still a lot of room to run, a lot more money to be made. And so just make sure you don't marry your bags. You have proper risk management and be ready to move and shift with the markets. And that's what I do. And I always share, but yeah. No, I'm not, but I need to find something. I salvaged a little bit of money, but it ain't nothing to the hit I took. I would love that. Thank you, dude. Yeah, Mr. K, what's your X handle? Let me DM you and we'll chat more, and we'll see if we can do something to help you out, brother, okay? We love our community, and that just sucks, man. Yeah, we'll talk about it on the live show, where we're talking about more news. But yeah, that shit's fucked up, man. And you're seeing, the charts are being shorted. There's like a class action lawsuit going on. It's just very unfortunate. And that's why, and I'm not sitting here and saying this to be like, we were right. But this is why, like, we're always just reevaluating our positions. And it's not to say that, you were dumb for staying in that project. It's just, yeah, Mr. K. Okay, cool. I'm gonna copy that, and I'm gonna send you a DM on X, and then you know what? Let me just send that right now, and we'll chat, dude. See if we can help you out in some sort of way. Okay. I know you've been watching a lot of our content. Let's go home. Let's find Mr. Kennedy. There we go. Follow you back. Yo, let's chat after the stream. Cool. All right. So let's get back to COAI. Does this thing have more room to run? Looks like it's trying to fill out this ginormous cup and handle pattern, right? We saw like a semblance of it here, although it didn't fit exactly how you would want a cup and handle, right? I mean, you can, if you really wanted to, you could draw this out like this. There's your handle and there's your breakout. But what I'm looking at is more of in line with this top, right? So maybe we see something like this, right? Which would mean that price will start reversing around $11.66, come into a little bit of a handle, and that breakout would be pretty big. Let's go ahead and measure this move here. If we were to get that breakout, and you know, we can actually take our fib levels. Let's draw our fib from the bottom to the top. So your 236 sits at around $10.17. So if we were to get a breakout from our 236 fib retracement, if that cup and handle plays out, you're looking at a move back to $17.15. If we go all the way down to the 50% fib level, which is probably more likely, that's $8.27. That brings us to around $15.23 for a measured move on this pretty big cup and handle pattern. I mean, this bottom here is just perfectly rounded, right? And that means there was slow and steady accumulation all the way up. When you see a V-shaped recovery, that means buyers were very eager to step in, and they kind of scooped up those dips, scooped up those, I don't want to say liquidations, but there was essentially a liquidity grab where price sharply reversed back to the upside. Both are good. I think rounded bottoms make for a more sustained rally. So yeah. Discord is not free. Our Discord is free. You don't got to pay to be in our Discord. If you want the trading stuff, all you got to do is have a Buy DeFi account and deposit $100 for yourself to trade. You don't pay us anything. So on our side, it's definitely free. So yeah. So anyways, we're going to work our way to the lower time frame. I'm just going to change this back to green. Also wearing green today. I'm trying to channel the green candles, baby. Hope everyone's doing great today. Why the lag with the Sire token, said Taylor. I don't know, but what I do know is I am extremely bullish on this project. I have continued to buy. I finally was able to get in on the vault. I missed out on the first tranche. Second tranche, I was able to get in. Let's take a look at Sire. I love this project, man. I really, really do. And dips are for buying. We've crossed below our trend line. I expect this thing to reverse. If it does reverse, I mean, let's take a look. Total buys. So we had one whale just YOLO out 12.5K, which when you look at 1 million liquidity, that's not a lot. I mean, it's decent, right? It's not terrible, but it's not some thick liquidity where you need to sell, 100, 200, 300 grand, or even move the price a percent, 1 point. So for this one, same thing with wire, fairly thin liquidity. So we see 8, 10, 12K sells in one clip. It's going to move the chart the opposite way. You've had some buyers step in. So obviously over the last, I think this is 30 minutes. No, this is 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. We've definitely had more people selling. So what I think happened is people got out because they couldn't get into the vault. And so they're like, you know what, maybe, but what they don't know is there's going to be more vaults coming. Max has confirmed this on X. There's going to be more vaults. And I'll tell you what, you guys, once they start publishing the ROI and the track record of the agent, and they start opening up new vaults, it's essentially passive money, right? It's like staking rewards. You stake it and you forget about it, you earn the staking rewards. It's the same thing. You put your money in the A vault, right? You buy the units, USDC, you put the money in the A vault, and the bot does it for you. The AI agent trades and goes into those prediction markets for you. And once the market catches on, here's the beauty of it too, you guys. This has nothing to do with crypto. So Bitcoin could be down, crypto could be down. Guess what? When the stock market is down, people are still putting in sports bets. People are still making money in the predictions market. So this is a kind of separate play that's not tied to crypto, yet it is in crypto. And so you could very well find yourself in a scenario where majority of your portfolio with crypto is down, but Sire is up because it's making people money, and it doesn't really give a shit what people are doing, right? What Bitcoin is doing, what Ethereum is doing, what altcoins are doing. It's going to do its own thing. As long as it remains successful, which I believe it will. They ran that test for about 2 months, 160 or 138 or 168% ROI over 2 months. 160% ROI over 2 months. Now scale that out. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Vic, Discord links in the description. Also, I think this is my first time seeing you. Welcome. Poe man, what's going on, brother? Cryptic Mushroom, long time no see, my friend. How you doing? Mr. K jumped into the Discord. Awesome, dude. Dadbod, what do you think of rolling Aave Ondo into Link or TAO? I don't know. From a strictly like fundamental standpoint, If I had to pick Aave slash Ondo or Link slash TAO, fuck, that's hard, man. That's really, really hard. I'd probably have to go with Link and TAO. Although if I'm in your situation and I'm deciding whether to ladder out of Ondo or Aave to get into Link or TAO, I would probably rather ladder out of Ondo. And that's not to say that Ondo is not a good project or I'm not bullish on Ondo. Aave, in my opinion, and we can look at an Aave chart, then we'll look at Bitcoin, we'll look at BitTensor. Maybe we'll come back to the COAI chart, which looks like it's meeting some resistance at that $11.85 level. Again, we'll see if we can scalp a short. Although charts like this, I'm very scared to scalp shorts. That's why on the way up, that the trend was clearly our friend, and so we just kept scalping those longs. Let's take a look at Aave's chart. I believe Aave is super undervalued. Let's scroll up here. Aave, 222, bro. Is Aave trading above its 200-day moving average? It is not. Aave is not trading above its 200-day moving average, which is not what I want to see. You do have some confluence here with that large volume node, but we did before we resized the chart. You have a couple. You have one up here at around $300, and then the other one was kind of in confluence with our MA Ribbon 2, which is $257. Obviously, you know, we've put in 3 lower highs and 3 lower lows, which has created essentially a falling channel. It's a pretty steep one too, right? Falling wedge, falling channel, whatever you want to call it, which these do tend to break to the upside. I'm curious to see if there's any bullish divergence here on this Aave chart. And then we'll look at an Ondo chart and we'll kind of compare. So that kind of, right? We kind of have some bullish divergence, although barely, right? You got to really zoom in. We're looking at these 2 lows here, right? Low number 1, low number 2, obviously clear lower lows. And here, if you zoom in by a thin margin, but it's still a higher low. It is still a higher low. So that, my friends, is bullish divergence. And I think Aave is such a dope product. It's such an easy market fit. And I don't know. I'm bullish on Aave. I'm bullish on DeFi. It's the #1 protocol, I believe, in the entire DeFi space. And we can take a look at DeFi Llama here real quick. Yeah. I mean, across the board, you guys, all of DeFi, every single L1, every single L2, Aave is #1 with $36.6 billion in TVL, more than Lido. Ondo, on the other hand, let's take a look at an Ondo chart. So this one is kind of consolidating, chopping sideways, moving down. I would expect this thing to reverse. Market side for B, not telling us anything. Money flow still expanding to the downside. We're kind of, it's like an ocean wave here with the momentum indicators. Technically, RSI is kind of overbought, not really. It's sitting at 60, depending on what your gauge is on overbought. I like to look at overbought as 70 and oversold at sub 30. Some people look at 80-20, some are 60-40, but obviously more overbought than oversold on Aave. We can take a look at Ondo real quick. And where is Ondo? Let's take a look. Just gonna have to pull up a new. Oh, there it is. Bada bing, bada boom. Kind of same thing with Ondo, right? And again, this is what I was trying to say is because I would, in this scenario, pick Aave over Ondo. Doesn't mean I'm not bullish on Ondo. Let's see if we have any bullish divergence on Ondo as well. Very similar to Aave. Now this one barely put in a lower low, right? And it's much more pronounced on the RSI with the higher low. So this one also has some bullish divergence. Again, both great projects, but if you forced me into a corner and said pick one, I would. I mean, it also depends on where you got in, dude. So it's kind of a loaded question, but you know, with the information I have, I would hold on to my Aave and ladder out of Ondo if you need to sell something to get into the other two. But yeah, but the Link and BitTensor, you guys know how bullish I am on both of those. I think BitTensor is going to have a massive rally. In fact, we are actually in a BitTensor long. This one's in the profit 35% already. We got in at 377. Now with BitTensor, we'll go to a BitTensor chart real quick. BitTensor, I was eyeing 347. Let me go ahead and clean up this chart just a tad here. 1, 2. Trend line, bye-bye. Volume, go, away. 2 bounces now off of our 200-day moving average at 374. Last time we printed a hammer candle. Now, the one thing I will say, though, to potentially keep your eye out for, we have a couple things. We have kind of this, I don't know if you can call this a bull flag, bull pennant, right? Your flag is extending past your pole. Excuse me. This could also, well, this, you know, if we isolate this, you know, you got a falling wedge. If you look at it from a bigger standpoint, you have a potential M pattern. Failing to take that high here at around 462. If we come down, and let's just say we come all the way down to 344, if we come all the way down to 344, and we start to bear flag, then I would probably look to exit my long and maybe look to scalp a short, because that would be the completion of this M pattern. Break to the downside. But there's a lot of bullish things happening for BitTensor. This is on the daily, by the way. And so again, we got in a scalp at around 377. Didn't quite get that 374 level we're looking at, but still got into a long and we're still in the profit. Zachary Martin, what's up, dude? How you doing, bro? All right, let's take a look. Over the last, day, there's like 3 that are in the green. Chain Opera, Meme Core, and what is FTN? Fast Token. No idea what the hell that is. Leading the losers is Aster. You know what's funny is we have a company portfolio. It doesn't have a lot in there because, you know, we have a lot of overhead, you know, with employees and with the studio and everything. So majority of the time, at least for where we are now in the business, a lot of the money that, like, I'd say all the money that comes in goes right back out, whether it's reinvesting in the business or paying overhead. And so we do have a little bit of some tokens. And I was, it's on BNB chain. And I was like, you know what? I put it into BNB. I was like, maybe put it into Asters at like $1.10 or like, yeah, I think $1.10. I decided against it, and thank God, because this is an ugly ass chart. I mean, you want to talk about an M pattern, right? Here's your M pattern that actually played out. First high, right? Came in, failed to make a new high, bear flag, break to the downside. Potential same pattern on BitTensor, so we're keeping our eye on that, okay? And I'll post all the updates in Discord, so if you guys are in there, you'll get all those updates in Discord if TAO does flip. But just look, and if you're not and you're just kind of doing your own thing, which is totally fine, just keep your eye out for a potential retest of 346. If we come down, now the way this gets invalidated is we just start rallying and we take out this high, right? We take out the high at 438 and then we take out this high at 460. If that happens, invalidated, you're fine. If we fall and we come back down to 342, your antenna should be up. Expect a little bit of a relief rally, and let's see if we can try to extrapolate this out, right? Let's do a reverse fib, and let's say we do come down to 343. Let's say price action looks something like this. We fail the 50, which we kind of have already on a wick. That's $401. We call them all the way down. And then we start moving our way back up. The first level to look out for is your 236, which is 370. But more than likely, we would come back up and retest this 401 region. If that fails, then probabilities are high that we're going to get a larger move to the downside for TAO, potentially breaking below its 200-day moving average. It does have some strong support levels. Let's map those out. Which, by the way, I don't think this is going to happen. And in fact, let's take a look. Actually, I think we have. Let me clean up this chart. Let me bring up just a clean chart. Take a look at this. This was another M pattern, right? Your high, double top, coming into a bear flag. Now this got invalidated because it extended past its 50. Right? It got stopped out at the gold pocket. And then we had that scam Friday. So I wouldn't even count this. So in my opinion, this thing was rallying. It was at $400 and it just completely fell. I mean, guys, this was a 65% candle. A 65% candle on TAO on Scam Friday. And so that is how that M got invalidated. Okay. Could we see the same thing here? I believe we will. But time will tell. We'll see. It's all about probabilities. And TBD, as they say, right? To be determined. Let's go down to I know I'm kind of all over the place here, but let's go down the lower time frames and let's see if we can spot anything on Market Cipher, any of our momentum indicators here. Let's get rid of those. Let's go full screen here. Money flow just crossed into the red on the 4-hour. VWAP just crossed above 0 on the 4-hour. So a little bit of divergence there. We did put in looks like we're putting in a higher low on the momentum wave, which is good. We put in a higher high on the momentum wave to the upside, which is also good. Yeah, I mean, to me, everything tells me the trend is going to continue up. Here's the 2-hour. Seeing some recovery on these momentum indicators here, your RSI and your stochastics. Money flow is kind of flat at 3.4. Importance here is it is trading above 0. It's trading in the green. And then VWAP expanding to the upside. And then the 1-hour. Still deep in the money flow on the 1-hour. We did have a little bit of a mini anchor trigger wave long here on BitTensor. But I would caution everyone, right? What is this going to look like? This little momentum wave here. And let's go ahead and hide these so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. This little momentum wave, this could potentially be a short trigger wave here on the 1-hour for BitTensor as we have our anchor wave. This is kind of a trigger wave. This would definitely, if this stays like this and we get a red dot, that would definitely be a trigger wave for a short setup. So we'll be keeping an eye on that as well. Maybe during the morning show, because we're doing this before the morning show, we can take a peek back and see, because I think this session closes in 8 seconds. So we should see now. Are we going to get expansion of this momentum wave, or are we going to see a red dot? Red dot, potential short. We're getting expansion. Oh, looks like we're getting expansion. So I don't want to say crisis averted, but it's looking pretty good. 1-hour looks good. That's BitTensor. Okay, let's take a look at BTC. Bitcoin. One hour. Let's take the daily on Bitcoin. A lot of indecision in the market today, guys. All right, this is your classic indecision candle. And I would highly recommend those of you that are serious traders to look at each candle as people, right? These are people behind this candle. And the way you see the candle tells you how those people felt during that trading period. And this trading period was just a tug of war that looks like, as of now, it's going to close right where it opened. Will it be red? Will it be green? I don't know. This looks like, to me, this could be I was going to say maybe an inverse head and shoulders, but let's see if this bear flag got invalidated here. It did for a second, right? My invalidation is for a bear flag crossing above the 50, which was 109,860, which we did, but we came right back down. So we could see more downside for Bitcoin, guys. Doesn't mean alts are going to wreck. Maybe it's a rotation. Let's draw it out for you guys. Here's your measured move. Sub 100K. There's your measured move on a bear flag. And it's right there. Are we going to make another run at 111.6? Are we going to get that breakdown now? Let's find out. Let us find out. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so. Help us out. We love y'all, man. Drink my coffee. Venti Vanilla Sweet Cream Cold Brew. Try to cut down my sugar. All right. We're going to run through Market Cipher B, and then we'll run through Market Cipher A, and then we'll see what momentum is telling us. So, obviously on the daily, lower high on our momentum indicators, and this thing has officially rolled over. On the momentum waves, got a rounded bottom here, essentially a double bottom on the momentum or the momentum waves. Money flow looks like it is expanding to the downside with confluence from VWAP about to, it's at zero, but it's about to break into negative territory. That's the daily. Let's check the half day. Maybe a little bit of a like an inverse head and shoulders on this momentum wave. Let's see if we've had any other instances of an IHS on Bitcoin on Market Cipher B, and I always like to do this. I guess kind of here, right? If we zoom in here a little bit, let's drop a vertical here. Actually, we're going to go to the completion. Where's my price action, dude? Inverse head and shoulders on a momentum wave. Last time it happened, once that right shoulder formed, Bitcoin rallied 12%. So not too shabby. Okay, so the 12 hours telling us, we went pretty far back there. 12 hours telling us potential upside. We do have a red dot here, though. Let's see. Did we get a red dot here on the right shoulder? No, we got a green dot on the right shoulder. Right? Left, head, right, green dot. Here we have left, head, right, red dot. Something to keep an eye on. That's the 12 hour. Let's check the 4. Potential long trigger wave on the 4-hour time frame, as long as it kind of starts to round out here. If it keeps expanding, then that'll be invalidated. But we've got phase 1, which is your anchor wave, green dot. Here's phase 2, waiting for it to see if we do get that green dot and if that momentum wave does. And what we would like to see with trigger waves, by the way, guys, is this. You want to see that sharp, that kind of sharp edge here, that pointy that pointy V momentum wave versus the rounded momentum wave, or like the lumpy mashed potato. You ever seen those girls that wear those tights and they got a lumpy ass and look like a bag of mashed potatoes? That's what this is. You don't want to see that, right? And you also don't want to see the triangle ass. Well, you do want to see the triangle ass for a trigger wave, and then you have the nice rounded bottom, which are more sustained for the rallies. But looks like this one we're looking like we're getting a rounded momentum wave here. But again, the important thing here is going to be, guys, to get that green dot. And then lastly, the 1 hour money flow looks like it is continuing to expand to the downside. VWAP looks like it's starting to recover a little bit. Had a sharp downturn from around 12 to currently at 8, but it looks like that thing is starting to flatten out a little bit here as well. Rollover on the momentum indicators. Right, we had this massive expansion up here. Came up, right, failed to even get to our trigger 1 level and starting to roll over on the hour. So that's market cipher. Let's check price action on the 1 hour. I'll clean up the chart here just a little bit. How's everyone doing, by the way? Y'all having a good start to your day? Let us know. Ooh, trend line. Oh, this is the bear flag on the hour. Let's get rid of that. I can redraw this if need be. It's just so weird, man. Like what was this? Like, what is that? Sometimes crypto just makes you scratch your head, dude. Makes you scratch your head. 1085 looks like, or 1087 looks like it's a... If we get rejected up here, I'm probably going into a short position here on Bitcoin. Let me throw on our volume range. A little bit of confluence, a little further down though at 108 even. So we'll probably get a bounce at 108. And then I'm curious to see, which we kind of already gotten on a couple of wicks. And then I want to see what 1087 does. Because you can see here, 1087, initial rejection. Then we had that massive 1 hour God candle. And then it was resistance, resistance, resistance. Will it be resistance again? Knocking on that door there at 1087. If you get rejected again, and 108 doesn't hold, we're probably a good time to short. So we'll keep our eye on that as well. Also, guys, if there's anything you want me to take a look at from a chart perspective, let me know. While you guys do that, I'm going to take a peek at Wire. This is a clean 2x. And I put this on X. This is about as clean of an inverse head and shoulders as I've ever seen. I mean, just like textbook, right? From a big rally, come in, put in a low, put in a lower low, that's your head, and then a higher low, ramping up on the volume, break out of the neckline, and a perfect retest. Boop. Retest 1, retest 2, retest 3, and then it was a rally. Thin liquidity at 640K, 11,000 holders, only 500,000 in volume. And so if you're on the sidelines and you're like, David, I wanted to get in. No, please. Let's draw our fib. Let's draw our fib first and then. So your 50 sits at 1101. Okay. That would be the first level I target. Your gold pocket is right below at around 1024 or 10 even. But if you happen to get this entry again on another potential retest of this neckline, I would expect it to hold. Right? That would be an ideal entry. I'm not sure if you're going to get it. But if you do see it and you've been on the sidelines waiting, it might be worth might be worth your time to take a peek at this one. But this one, we hit a clean 2x on this one. I've been holding this thing since, I think, like 3 million market cap. So doing pretty good. You know, my portfolio and some of the people that have been watching our show, I know a lot of alts have kind of struggled, man. But we've made some money. We made money on BitTensor. We've made money on Sire. We've made money on Wire. We've made money on a few other ones. So, yeah. Orhan said, how's the Minotaur bot working out? Bro, that thing is dope. Which, by the way, guys, I was talking to someone yesterday, and they're like, hey, I see these bots, right? And they just buy and sell crypto for you. And I said, you got to be careful because some of these bots have back-end access to whatever exchange you give them access to, right? So you got to give them access to your account for them to be able to go in and execute trades. And you got to be careful there's no backdoor or any way for the bot to just drain your entire funds. And so Minotaur doesn't do that. We ran the code, right? It's true. And so I would highly recommend, if any of you are serious investors and you want to leverage a dope ass algo that literally bought the wick bottom on that scam wick on Friday, guys. That Friday, and I'll show you guys. I'll show you the entry of this bot. Here you go. 104,480. So I was able to add Bitcoin to my stack at 104,880. Pretty damn good. So yeah, Sam uses it. I know a few other traders that use it. They don't really talk about it, but that's why I'm not going to say their names. But this is the real deal. It's a high ticket item. So if you're not serious about if you're looking for a quick like 10x in a year, it's not for you. You're going to waste your money. If you're looking for sustained, steady just growth and compounding, because as your account grows, the percentage allocation obviously in dollar value grows as well. So you go from, let's just say you go from $500 entries and exits to $5,000 entries and exits to $50,000 entries and exits. If you give this thing, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, bro, that's your retirement right there, man. And so what I'd recommend is just book a call with those guys, man. Book a call. Let me throw their link in the chat. YouTube just fucking changes this shit every other day, man. Like, where is the settings? Where's the settings? I'll just do this. And by the way, even if you want the product, there is no guarantee they're going to sell it to you. So you'll get on call with them, ask them questions. They'll ask you questions. If it aligns with what their product does, if you're a fit, then they'll sell it to you. If not, they'll say, hey, our product is probably not for you. Maybe when your investment strategy changes, come back to us. But I also love that about them as well. So go check them out. Book a call with those guys. They're great. I met with a team. I met with a founder, with their CTO. It's white glove service. They literally hold your hand through everything. So yeah. Looking for my Gina. Dadbot Hustle said, the whales are just screwing with us. They want this chop. But even with all the selling, we're still holding. Yeah, I'm just, at least for Bitcoin, I'm in it for the long haul, man. So to be completely honest with you, if it wasn't for the crypto show, I probably wouldn't even look at Bitcoin's price, to be honest with you. I would just let the bot do its thing. I would have my DCA strategy. I'd keep it. That's it. But obviously, because we have a show, we gotta be in tune with the markets and know what the hell's going on. So we check it every single day. But yeah, if it wasn't for the show, I wouldn't I wouldn't be doing this. I would just buy and hold. That's it. Maybe every 3 months, check the price. See if I can leverage my paper gains for something. I don't know. So yeah, let's talk about Kadena, man. that was fucked because there's, obviously people are doing some on-chain analytic stuff. And I mean, this is a rug pull and I get it. It's still mining blocks. Could it make a comeback? Sure. But guys, if you were able to salvage any bit of your money, I'm here to tell you that it's not too late. If you were to salvage, let's just say you had 10K and you were able to exit and you bought it at like $5 and you're able to exit, right, at around like 25, 30 cents. I know that's like pennies on the dollar. If you're, 10K turn into $1,000 or $1,200, bro, you can make that 10K back, man. You can definitely make that 10K back. In my opinion, it would be better than sitting there and be like, well, and it's like cope, right? And I see it on X, and I've been there before, man. I've been there before where I've lost my ass, and I'm like, well, and you try to find reasons to make yourself feel better. Well, now it's great because the community takes it over and is still mining blocks. And let's face it, guys, this thing is done. It's toast. If you're able to salvage any money, take a couple days, clear your head, identify projects that are undervalued, try to see where the trend is going in the next 3 to 6 months, put it into high velocity projects that have users, projects that have an ecosystem, and projects that have a product market fit and adoption. There's a few really good ones out there and a few really good ones that have low market cap, right? And so that's what I would do, man. And next thing you know, dude, in 3 to 5 months, you turn that 1,200 back into your 10K. Now you're back to even. Now everything's all good. And now you reset, and then, you either continue your strategy or create a new one. But just sitting and waiting and praying and hoping, and I don't know. That's not what I would do. But also, Rob says it all the time. Guys, don't marry your bags. I'll be honest. I love BitTensor. I love Sire. But I'll tell you what, if in a span of 3 to 6 months, if Sire starts fucking up on its predictions and it's getting a negative ROI, I have zero problem. Like, you know what, guys? This thing looked good. It's not panning out. I took an L, or I made a little bit of money. I'm out. Zero problem. Same thing with BitTensor. So I am always open. If my investment thesis has been invalidated, I am always open to saying, you know what? I'm going to cut my losses and move on. Zero problem. Same thing with Chainlink. Same thing with fucking Bitcoin, if it came down to it. So that would be my thing, is just don't marry your bags. Be nimble. Watch our show. Don't do everything we tell you. You don't have got to do everything we do, but at least get the info, right? Pique your interest. And then go do your own research and make solid decisions and be ready to move and maneuver if you need to. If you do that, bro, you're going to mitigate your losses so much. You'll take some L's, of course, but you'll win more than you lose. So, yeah, don't marry ADA. Don't marry anything. Don't marry anything. At any point, anything can change. At any point, anything can change. That's not just in crypto, that's life in general. That would be my recommendation to you. And if you guys do that, you'll make money. But obviously, guys, I don't have any Kadena. I've held a little bit prior. I think I took an L on that also. But it was just never anything. And to be honest with you, like, Kadena's thing was like proof of work scalable, right? Solve the trilemma. I would kind of rather hold Caspa than Kadena before Kadena kind of was going down. So I don't know, and that's the other thing you got to pay attention to is the projects from previous cycles that the lore of those projects was, let's say, Cosmos and Polkadot, interoperability, parachains, right? 2017, even to some degree, 2021, that was a big thing. And that was a big part of people's investment thesis. And so they bought and they say, this is big, this is what Cosmos does. Yes. But fast forward to 2025, guys, interoperability is like, you gotta be interoperable. It's not some sort of magical creature. It's not some like Bigfoot where everyone's like, oh my God, Cosmos is revolutionary because it does interoperability. Everyone does interoperability now. Like if you're not interoperable, you're kind of not going to make it. So the lore of that has faded, which is why you see Cosmos perform the way it has. Here's Cosmos, guys. Let me clean up the chart here. Here, we'll just get rid of everything and we'll just... I mean, guys, we are currently at we haven't been here since 2020. We have not been at this level since 2020. Okay? Go all the way back, 2020. It's on the weekly time frame. This is where we got rejected twice, and then we went on to rally. But like, if you bought Cosmos here at, let's say, $17, and you're sitting at $3 now, you're down 80%. You're 10 grand turning into 2 grand. Guess what? You can take that 2 grand and make 20 grand. Or you can sit there and hope it goes up again. So the choice is yours. I know it's easier to sit there and wait and say, you know what, it's going to come back, it's going to bounce back, but let's just face it, bro. Cosmos, probably not going to come back, at least to its previous all-time highs. Polkadot, probably not going to come back to its previous all-time highs. 2 cycles ago, they were great. The lore was awesome. Now it is what it is. So, no, I kind of went off on a tangent there. Oh, let's check back on Chain Opera. Let's see COAI. This thing is still crushing, bro. I think we're on the 1 hour. 11:35. Show me the 15-minute. 15-minute looks strong, man. 5-minute. 5 minutes rolling over on the momentum. 30-minute looks decent. 1 hour looks okay. I'm curious to see where this momentum wave is going to stop. Because if we put in a lower low, I'm more inclined to short this thing. But I just like I took an L on a short, by the way. Did I show you guys? Yeah, I took this L on a short. I had a pretty tight stop loss. I got in at a 1048, got it at 1068, took a little bit of an L. So yeah. So I just like when especially something like Chain Opera where it's very, very volatile, you want to be careful. But again, we're coming up to a level that we should see a pullback. You had consolidation here. We're on the 4 hour. You had consolidation here. This spanned around 20 hours, not too long. And then we had a fall down, and then we had that rounded bottom, a little bit of a bull flag breakout, and chances are we're probably going to come into another bull flag. In fact, maybe we just short this thing right now. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and short. We'll put a tight stop loss in. Oh, because I have an open order in. Cancel that sucker. We'll go up here. We'll go 15x. Let's go 200. Short. And let's put our stop loss at around 1189-ish. Let's see. Cool. We'll see. And then we're gonna target $10 and around 19 cents for the pullback. Could go deeper, but that's what we're targeting. So let's just go ahead and put that TP in, $10.19. Guys, also there's a very high chance that this thing gets stopped out. Again, if we get above this 1-to-1, and let me throw on our volume real quick. See if there's any large volume nodes. There's a little one here where we're at now, which again was where the sellers were. And also what I want to do is I want to throw on market cipher. See if there are any up. There it is. 4-hour purple triangle. What does that mean? Trend is coming to an end. See if we can find any examples of this previously. I mean, this was a beautiful example. Look at this, guys. This is a double signal from market cipher. You had your reversal and then you had your blood diamond. Just a dive. Blood diamond, dive, right? Here was another blue triangle on the 1 hour. Although this pullback was not as, if you entered, I mean, still, here's the thing, very volatile, still at 16%. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. And we have the same thing on the 4 hour, and it is confirmed. And so we're trading that first candle. But I expect a pullback here, guys. I feel pretty confident. I think this trade is going to close in the green. Right, we got our stop loss at 11.89. We're at 11.57. Yeah, I feel fairly confident. Let's go ahead and throw it in our Discord for our Discord people. COAI short entered, stop loss 11.89. TP. What was our TP at? TP is $10.19. Bam. Beautiful. Check the 1 hour, seeing a little bit of a recovery here on the 1 hour from the alts. Maker up 2.2%. Athena up 1.9%. Aster still down. Floki still up. Aave up. Morpho up. Let's check ETH. I haven't looked at ETH in a while. Ooh, Blood Diamond on the 4 hour. That played out. Check daily on ETH. Also, guys, those of you that are here, make sure to come back in about an hour where we're going to be doing our morning live show with my co-host Rob, where we cover more of the news. Obviously, we'll talk about Kadena, and we'll also kind of talk about, hey, like where are we placing our bets for the next, former or current big project that can potentially go under. So we'll give our thoughts on that as well. All right, ETH. Double bottom, higher low, right? Lower high here. Looks like we put in a higher low. See if we had any. Let's see if this was off of some bullish divergence. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So we're seeing bullish div on high time frames across many altcoins, while Bitcoin is kind of consolidating. What does that say? You want to talk about alt season. Bitcoin dominance falls, which I have a chart for that. Dominance, Bitcoin dominance. Daily, it's actually rising. Slow grind up on Bitcoin dominance. You guys know, though, what rises must fall. Someone was talking shit to me about that in one of the comments. I'm like, what? What rises must fall. And so this should break to the downside. Also, if you if you zoom out, if I'm being a little biased here, this could be a little bit of a bear flag, you guys. Take dominance all the way down. Do it. Give me a 54% Bitcoin dominance. I'll take it. Yes. All right, my friends, I'm going to sign off. And it looks like Chain Opera is actually continuing its rally. So I'm telling you, man, you just never know with projects like this, but it should, probabilities say it's going to break down. Let's check this one more time before I log off and start prepping for the morning show. Let's check the 5-minute. Sub $10. If you're looking for a long entry, sub $10 would probably be good. And then one more thing I want to look at is market cipher. That money flow is just 5-minute. Look at that. That, my friends, is called an expansion. Big bounce on the momentum indicators. We might get stopped out on this trade. We might very well get stopped out on this trade. We did have a large liquidity grab around $11.77, as you can see here on Lux Algo. Guys, even on the 5-minute time frame, bro, you got 5% moves on 5-minute time frames. And you want highly volatile, this is it. Also be careful, so I got to have the tight stop losses. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you all very much. I look forward to seeing all of you for the morning show. Make sure to come back and make sure to sub the channel until 1 hour from now. Peace.